Hi and welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, I've got something a little bit different to show you. I was gifted this and I don't think many of you are gonna know about it. It's a vintage buggy and it's this. Well, not this. This is my 1/10 racing buggy. It's this. Yeah, it basically is a 1/8 vintage buggy. Let me just get rid of that. Just to give you an idea how big it is. It's massive, but it's just what you would have from a normal two-wheel drive 1/10 buggy. Yeah, really weird. Now, what is it? Well, it's a 1991 MRC Desert Thunder. Not that much about these around. Now, this was gifted to me and it's almost perfect. It's in beautiful condition. Metal plate chassis that's been bent to make it stronger. It has two brushed motors in it, mechanical speed controller, yeah, and quite rare. I've done a few little bits to it, tried to clean it up a little bit. The first thing you'll notice is it's not box art. I'll put some pictures up of that. You can see what it's like. Yeah, good luck finding any decals of it, and good luck finding a new body. I did look to see whether I could remove the colour from this, and no. It's actually quite a thick polycarbonate, but I tried with some Tamiya polycarbonate cleaner and I can't get it off, so I can't do it box art. It's not painted up too badly. I have put a little bit of time into edging things up a bit so that it looks a little bit sharper than it did, as well as I did the windows. The rear spoiler is wrong. That's polycarbonate. This is kind of a standard 1/8 buggy. I did manage to find a polycarbonate one that's closer. It's quite a basic kind of spoiler on the back, so I found one that's a lot more simple, so I'll get that in to try and make it look a bit more kind of normal to what you'd get with the kit itself. I just put a few decals on as there's acres of space, nothing that's just some that I had lying around that I thought might work with it, just to fill it in a little bit. If I can ever get some decals for it, then obviously I'll put the original decals on it. I did have a look at MCI and they haven't got any. It's quite a rare one. Right, let's take off the body and have a look at what's inside, as it's quite interesting. So the spoiler comes off just like you'd see from an old RC10. The actual spoiler mount is correct, just the spoiler is wrong. So when I get another polycarbonate one, I can change it over and it should look pretty good. Then you have the same kind of pins that you'd see on anything, just a normal 1/10, and then the body comes up. Obviously you can see it's very inspired by a RC10, for instance. Very thick body. Could probably spray its gunmetal inside just to make it look a little bit nicer. Obviously the colors are not box art, but it is what it is. So it's just huge. So we have two motors, one on top of each other, and then that's connected through. Now, when I got it, it didn't have a mechanical speed controller or servo in it, so I've put this in. Not sure if I'm going to leave it like this. I think it actually goes the other way round. As when I put in a servo horn, it's obviously going to clip this, so at some point I'll probably take it out, spin it round to get it working. I don't have another vintage servo to put into the steering. Now, the steering in this can take two servos. If you look carefully here, you'll see that when I turn it, you have one on this side, but there's also one on this side, so you could run two servos. Can you imagine back in 1991, servos weren't that powerful? Obviously today you could find a servo, single servo, that will happily be able to give you the kind of power and torque you'd need for a buggy of this size, and it is a little bit on the heavy side. So I do plan on getting it running at some point, but I'm going to need to find a few more bits and pieces before I can get it fired up. So at some point it will be back on the show. Very rare, very hard to find parts. I had a quick look on eBay and a set of tires and rims sold for an absolute fortune, so replacing any parts is pretty much nigh on impossible. Not only did I get the car, but I also got a bag of parts, so let's have a look and see what we got. I don't think it needs any of these, but it's just cool to see some brand new vintage parts. So we've got a set of arms. These are front and rear, so I've got a total new set. I don't know if there'll be anything better than the ones that are on there. So we've got a set of arms, which is always good to know. Then we've got, still in packet, is that the front or the rear? That's the rear tower. You don't know how rare these are. What else have we got here? Some original pins which match, well no, they don't match the ones on the car as well, but hey, to even have original pins. Then we've got a couple of crystals. A new bumper. That's different to the one that's on there, so maybe that's an original one. And it doesn't say what it's for, because obviously they did a few different ones. I'll have to look and see if that's the one that's on there is correct, or whether this one's correct. I'll have a quick look at that. I haven't really looked through this. These are the caps that go on the diff housing. It's amazing to still see these new in box. Front tower, brand new. Then we've got some, oh actually I need one of these to do on the actual servo, so I can put the original ones back in there, so that's quite cool. Front hubs and C hubs and knuckles. Wow, I've got surprising how many parts are with this. What's this? I'm not sure what they are. Doesn't really say a lot on them either, to be honest with you. Some little parts. Then we've got tie rods. Still in packet. God, I bet these are so rare. I haven't even looked in this bag really. Ah, I'm finding something. Then you've got, these are rear hubs and the pivot points that go at the back, I guess. Then we've got a battery tray, the clip that goes over it. Wow, I bet if these could talk. Slipper pads. Front bumper. So this bumper looks more like the one that's actually on it. So I'm not sure which one of the, oh is this, oh that's the back. Oh, okay, I understand. That's the front bumper. This is the rear bumper. So that's cool to have both. And then the last thing, which I didn't even notice in the bottom, is this. So this must be the original motors and mechanical speed controller. And also the bit that I've been looking for, the correct length. And also this screws down in the car. And I didn't have that. So it's great to find it. Okay, well that's brilliant. That means I can fit these and then it will be back to how it should be. I won't put the original motors back in. I'll leave the motors that are in it. Or should I? I don't know. I'll see. It'd be nice to have it back to exact standard. But that is quite a lot of parts to have for such a vintage thing. And I bet there's a lot of people, if you've got one of these, will be surprised at how many little parts they've actually got. The suspension itself all works as you'd expect. And it just looks absolutely mint. So something very different that I've been gifted to the show. And it will go into the collection. I need to find a shelf big enough to put this on. Just have to kind of work it out. So there you go, something very different. And if you know of this or if you've had one, comment below, let me know. Just something a little bit different for you. So there you go, what do you think? It's huge, it just seems massive. But I really like it, very old school feel about it. And yes, I should have looked in the parts bag before trying to put together a mechanical speed controller all on my own. So I wasted about an hour and a half faffing around as I had everything just to put straight back into it. So I've done that now, it's all correct as it should be. Anyway, I'm still missing 2 servos at the front. I want to put vintage stuff in this, so I'll fit 2 servos. I have got the correct servo horns for it that are the correct ones that should have been with this car. I can make up the tie rod quite easily, shouldn't be too difficult to find one of those. And then I need a receiver, and then it should all come back to life, and then we'll take it for a spin. Team Blue Groove, obviously they do the body, so I'm really chuffed about that. So I will order a new one as soon as there's a discount that they do, a promotion, as it's still quite a bit, £50 odd or so. And then I'll have the correct spoiler, and then I'll paint up the body. Still can't find the decals. Not sure why MCI don't have them. I guess they never got hold of them, so they could do them. So painting it up, I want to do it some brighter colours, but it would be nice if I could get the decals. Otherwise, maybe I'll try and mask up something that looks roughly similar, but that's just going to come down the line. But I wanted to show it to you now because there's so much more going on that's going to take me away from this. I've already had this for a couple of weeks. Next, we turn our attention to this, the Fan RC Worlds. That's going to be built on the show soon. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and a full detailed build of this beauty will be coming shortly.